Hi everyone, so this video will be in continuation of our previous video. In our previous video we have seen how to deploy uh, IAM-Vulnerable to our AWS account. So we have deployed multiple users, groups, roles, policies, and so these were the things which we did in the previous video. We created an administrator group, then uh, created a new user and added that user to this group. Then we deployed this lab using these commands, and now we are good to go. And this was the optional step which I showed you. So now let me show you what is the difference if we don't, if we didn't did this. So what is the difference? So currently if you see uh, get home directory .aws/credentials. So this file is already configured with all these roles. Different profiles are already configured because we ran this command. So what this does is basically, so if you see here, role ARN is for each of the profile there is different roles which are specified here. So if we see privesc1 role in our AWS account, so you go to roles, search here privesc1. Oh, let me copy this whole name. Okay, so this is the role, and it has this permission, IAM create policy version. Okay, and it can create policy versions for any resource. Means so resource is star. Basically, we can create uh, policy versions for any policy in our current account. Now, if you go to the trust relationships, you can see that our Terraform admin user, which is the admin user which we created in the starting, uh, this user can assume this role. So this is one of the uh, important or crucial permission within the AWS. Every service, everything is interlinked with this assume role permission. So what this trust relationship basically means is this Terraform admin user will be able to impersonate this role, means basically this permission, for certain amount of time. Means a temporary credential will be created for some amount of time, and after that particular time, so these credentials will be expired. So we will see this assume role in detail after after some time, okay, or in further videos. So right now you just assume that you just understand this thing, that Terraform admin user has permission to uh, assume this role, this privesc one create new policy version role. Okay, so now what this basically means is, if I run AWS STS get caller identity. So this is so STS get caller identity will tell you with which uh, user you are currently logged in. Okay, so this is the command which tells you that your current identity. So it is like who am I? Okay, for AWS. Uh, so if you run this directly, so default profile will be used, and our default profile is this one, and these are the credentials which we configured previously in the starting. So this is the Terraform admin uh, credentials, okay, in the default profile. So if you do not specify minus minus profile option and give any profile name, so by default profile is used. So now if you specify minus minus profile space name of the profile, let's say privesc1 for this one. So now if you see uh, this this is assumed role. It is written here assumed. So basically Terraform admin user, so we are using source profile as default. That means Terraform admin users credentials are being used, okay, and Terraform admin user has assumed this role, privesc1 create new policy version role. So if you try to do any other administrative function, so that will not be permitted because currently privesc1 profile only can do only this thing. Uh, Hope it makes sense. Uh, so this was the first option, means in which we don't need to configure uh, these profiles manually one by one. Okay, so this is the easiest way. The next way is when we deployed our lab, users are also created. Okay, so there will be a privesc1 user, this one. Okay, and if you see credentials were also created for this user. Okay, so this is the access ID key which is created, but we cannot see the secret access key which was created. So if I go to our project folder, open terminal here, grep -r and give that secret ID key here and star. So basically what I'm trying to do is I am searching this keyword in every file recursively, okay, within this folder. Currently we are in IAM-Vulnerable folder. So so we are basically searching this keyword if it is there or not. So we found this in terraform.tf state. So this is this terraform.tf state is a file, is a state file. So this is used to keep track of the changes which we are doing to this environment using Terraform. So when we destroy this lab, so this state file will be used to check which are the resources which we created earlier. So this our access ID key is there, so secret should also be there within this file. So for getting secret, what you can do is cat terraform tf state grep for this the id, and if we run only this, so yes, it is there, we found this. So for showing lines which comes after this, so let's say we found this in line number 10. So if we want to see line 11, 12 and 13, so what you can do is uh, use -a option and give 3. So after this keyword, wherever it is, the next 3 lines will also be shown. Okay, like this. So we found the secret key. Also you can do -b, b is for before. You can specify, let's say 10. So 10 lines before our pattern will also be shown. So this was our pattern. 10 lines before this, 3 lines after this. So basically before 10 also shows you for which user these credentials are. So this is the name of the user for which we found the credentials. Okay. Otherwise you can if you don't want to do this thing, you don't want to uh, look for credentials in Terraform files, you can directly go to your console, make this, delete these, or create a new access key. Okay, you can do that as well as your wish. Uh, so if you want to go use the credentials, what you need to do is you need to open your credentials file in a text editor .aws/credentials. Okay, go to a new line. Oh, let's create here privesc1 underscore user. You can give any name. Copy this secret access key. Okay, copy the secret from here, paste here, copy ID, paste here. So now if you run AWS minus profile privesc1 underscore user for this new profile which we have saved, sts get caller entity. So now we are logged in as, so we are running this command as user, not as temporary credentials that we were using earlier, assumed role which we were using earlier. So you can either use this, like the hard-coded credentials of each user for solving each challenge. So for each challenge, each separate users are created. Similarly, for each challenge, separate roles are created. So either you can use assumed role functionality, like which we are using right now, or you can uh, use hard-coded credentials. So means find the credentials in TF Terraform state file and then create profiles for separate users. Whatever you want to do. So let's remove this. Okay, so after this, uh, we are good to go, and we can start solving challenges. So, but I want to show you two tools, so which are extremely useful. First one is Enumerate-IAM. Uh, so for installing this, so what this does is basically enumerates the permissions. So it is like brute forcing, okay, brute forcing the permissions uh, with with the credential which you are running this tool. Okay, so let me show you how this works. Let's install this first. Let me open terminal, cd/opt git clone. So go to this enumerate IAM folder. Okay, then pip3 install -r requirements.txt. So I have already tested this tool once in this machine, so these are already there. After that, you are good to go. So if you want to run this tool, python 3 space enumerate iam.py -h for help. Okay, then you can. So now if you have credentials like for let's do this for our admin user minus access key space copy paste minus secret key copy paste enter. So it will basically uh, try to send API request for different permissions for running different commands, and if they work, it will show you worked. Okay, so as this is our administrator user, so everything will work because it is a administrator user. And uh, if I show you the policy again, which we have, it is star star. So this is the user which with which we are running IAM enumerate right now. So you can see there action is star, so we can run anything on any resource. So that's why this tool is going crazy and everything is working. You can see here, worked, everything works. uh, so basically this is short demonstration how this tool works. So if you run this with some other user accounts which are not administrators, it will show you uh, not worked, and worked for only those things uh, which that user profile has permissions for. Okay, and one more thing you might need to do with this tool. Uh, Sometimes this tools doesn't work. So what you need to do is you need to for making this tool work without any issue, you need to go to Enumerate-IAM folder, open this main.py file and search for max attempts here. So it will be on line number 129. So it will be 30. You change this to 5. You need to modify this from 30 to 5. Okay, then save this file and that's it. Uh, so that is Enumerate-IAM for enumerating the permissions. Next tool is pacu. So this so I am using this Kali Linux. It is already there in the apt repository for Kali. If you can see this here. So for installing this, if you are using Kali Linux, you just need to run this command apt install pacu -y. -y is for if you don't want prompts for yes no. So it will be installed. This pacu also has enumerate I enumerate IAM permissions module. So this is kind of metasploit tool for AWS. Uh, this tool has different modules for doing different things. You can go through the documentation of this. Video is also there. Oh no no no. Yes, so you can, yeah, so it is installed. So now you can directly run this -h for help -h. No, not working for some reason. Apt remove pacu -y. Okay, so let's install the latest version. So you can use pip3 for installing pacu rather than installing from Kali repository. So let's Let's try again. So now it works. Uh, so install this using pip3, then it will work. So name, any name you can give, test. So if you see here, there are many modules. Uh, List for listing modules. So these are the commands. ls. Yeah, so these are the modules which you can use. So we want to use IAM, lateral movement exploit, enum account, enum user, enum secrets, brute force permissions. Yes. So this is similar to that IAM vulnerable tool. Okay. So Pacu has a module for doing that. But IAM vulnerable has more, you can say, more permissions in its database. So it will show you more uh, valid output, or you can say, so basically it has more permissions in its database rather than this pacu. So the output of IAM enumerate is more up to date, and you can also update the database of IAM enumerate. If I show you that, so you can update the API calls. Okay. By git cloning this JDK, and then run generate brute force tests, so it will update itself. Okay, so let's see this how this works. So first we need to set keys. Import, yeah, this will work. Import keys. Import AWS keys from looking, yes, to the sessions database. Enter the name of the profile you want to import. Okay, yes. Import keys. Copy, paste. Import key space. Name of the profile is default. Okay, so imported default. So currently we are using uh, administrator credentials within the pacu. Okay, so next thing we wanted to run this, run space name of the module. So this is also showing everything. Authorization exists. So basically this is administrator account, so everything will work. Yeah, so that's it. So you can basically run other modules as well if you want to. But for the demonstration, this is it. So you can use these tools for your enumeration and exploitation. Now let's start solving challenges. Close, close, close. So there are some challenges which will require uh, some of the resources which are paid. So we will be currently we are not looking at those, but these are the challenges which will require uh, some resources like lambda function or EC2, which will cost a little amount of money. Okay, but for these we don't need to pay anything, and all these IAM objects or resources, these are free. Okay, there is no money the AWS charges for creating users or groups or roles or policies. These are free. So let's try to solve this challenge first. IAM create access key. Okay, this is the first challenge. Create access key. So if you search here, create access key. So this is the profile which you will be using, privesc 4. Okay, for solving this challenge. Open new terminal, cd into IAM-Vulnerable. Oh, okay, so it is in desktop. First go to desktop, cd IAM, mkdir solution. So I have created a solutions folder, cd into solutions, and let's open up Tmux here. So if you don't know how this works, so basically this is a terminal multiplexer which allows you to do things like these, uh, splitting up your terminals, okay, within single window, or creating multiple tabs. Okay, 0 1. So currently I am in tab 1. Okay, uh, you can create multiple tabs. So I am currently in tab number 3. So this star shows you in which tab you are currently in, which is currently opened. Okay, so if I press exit, I will come back to second tab, exit once again. I came back to tab 1, exit once again. You came back to tab 0. So pretty handy tool, terminal multiplexer. I will attach a link if you want to learn more about this. So IPSec, there is another guy who creates videos. So you can watch that video if you want to see what are the other features of Tmux. Okay, so we were solving this create access key challenge, and we have identified that privesc 4 is the profile which we will be using for this. So create access key, also it is given here as well. Okay, which profile name you want. you have to use for for solving this challenge. uh, so if we go to roles, search here privesc 4 and see the permissions. So our user currently has permission to run CreateAccessKey uh, on any resource. Okay, so what that means is we can run AWS IAM, create access key, okay, minus minus help create access key. Yeah, so this is the command. So basically IAM CLI has commands and then subcommands, and then subcommands can also have subcommands. So like this, this tool AWS CLI works. So similarly, you can see the commands for other services like EC2. Okay, so this will show you the commands for EC2. This, if you want to see for Lambda functions, let's say AWS Lambda space help. So now this will show you the commands for Lambda function. Similarly, different services, uh, different commands, you can see the help. Okay. So currently we want to see the command create access key. So IAM space help and create access key. This is the command. Copy this, then run this again. So now we want, so basically this is the description what we can do with this. So create access key basically allows our user, that is profile 4, which we are currently using this. Okay, so our user has privilege to create access key for any other user. So you might have guessed what is the issue here. uh, so basically if you know any user which has more privileges, if you know the name of the user, so you can create access key for that user, and then you can log in as that user by configuring those credentials uh, in your credentials file. So privilege escalation. Okay, so let's see this, how to abuse this create access key. Create access key. So far as you abusing this is the command. So we are running this create access key, giving the username. Username in our case is uh, that what is the username? Username was Terraform admin. No, let me confirm. AWS STS get caller identity. So default profile we are seeing. So Terraform admin is the username. Okay. Minus minus profile privesc 4. Okay. Yes. So what basically we are doing here is we are creating a new access key for Terraform admin user, and that will be displayed on our screen. And we are running this as unprivileged user, which only has permission to uh, create access key. It can only create access key, otherwise it cannot do anything else. Okay, so that is not a administrator user. Okay, so we have successfully created access key and secret access key for Terraform admin, and you can go to IAM users, Terraform admin, and if you go to security credentials, you can see uh, a new key is created. This is the key ending with PMK4. So this is, and this is not this is never used because we have not yet used this. So let's configure this now. Copy, and you can either directly make changes here, or you can use configure command as well. AWS configure, access ID key this, secret key this, default region name none, output format none. So now if I show you the file, so our key is updated with this new one. Okay, uh, so basically if we run that AWS STS get caller identity, so we are able to log in as Terraform admin with these credentials which we have created using unprivileged user. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So this is privilege escalation from unprivileged user, so we got Terraform admin user. Okay, so uh, we can create credentials or access keys for any of these users. Okay, but we already knew in this case that Terraform admin is a administrator user, so we created for that user. Okay, and if we see here again, now uh, it is still showing NA because we have not so basically this STS get caller entity is not logged in. Okay, is not logged by AWS, that's why it is showing NA. But if you now try to deploy anything or do any other operation other than this get caller identity or STS, that will be logged, then it will show in this last used that when this key was used last. Okay. Uh, yeah, so that's it for now. We have seen uh, this challenge, and we have also seen how to configure, how to use IAM enumerate IAM tool as well as pacu. I hope this makes sense. This was a easy challenge. We just ran uh, this command with our unprivileged user, and we were able to gain administrator access privileges by exploiting this user. Terraform admin. Okay. Uh, yeah, so thank you for watching. If you are watching, if you have any questions, you can comment it down.